Welcome along, everyone. Uh, Back's a bit better this week. It's not totally healed, but it's getting there. So, this day's project is a nice big bowl, and the wood is monkey puzzle. I'll tell you a wee bit about this. I got this monkey puzzle given to me a number of years ago, and it was the first. We actually got a whole tree, and the woman wanted us to make her a couple of bowls in part exchange for giving us a tree. So that was where it went. But the first cuts off the tree came from the mill, and she was throwing them out, and we grabbed them. And this is one here. Okay. Now I have turned some of these before, uh, and they're nice big bowls you can make out of them. Nice big fruit bowl. Now this piece on the lathe is 16 inches wide by 4.5 deep. I'll just bring the tailstock round and show you that. But it's got a nasty big limb going right through the middle of it, and it goes right through the other side, and it's cracked on both sides, and I've filled it with super glue, so hopefully it'll stay together. So you can imagine it's quite out of balance, and I have a counterweight screwed onto it. And less said about that, the better, because I'm just chancing my arm with this. It's screwed on, with screws and big long screws. So I bring my earworms in today. I managed to get Doug and Pete from Twisted Tweez.
Hi, everyone.
Morning, everybody. Howdy.
So I'll put them as back in the background, and we'll see what mess I can make of this bowl. And Doug will tell me who's in and who's not, and all. So I need one more thing before I start. My elastic band and my headset's going to fall off. Hey, that's me secured now. Okay, so if you want to tell me who's in, Doug, I can get the cell sorted out here.
All right. Other than Pete and myself, Roy the boy was first in, then Gerard. At least Roy was first that I see. Gerard came in right after that. Clint at Wood Dancers. Todd, excuse, excuse me. Todd at Glen Cove Woodworks. Brian, good to see you, Brian. Chris Dodds. Wavy Woodshed is in. Greg Alexander. Copper Isle Woodworking. Hey, Rob.
Just gradually bring the speed up in this.
Vinny Charlton is in.
Well, try it at that. 540 RPMs.
Robert
Just worried
Botwood.
about it.
Robert Botwood is in. And I'm at the bottom of my list. If I've missed anybody, I'm so sorry. Just let me know. We'll holler out at you.
Okay, Doug, thank you for doing that, and welcome everyone. So, I have this over 2 years, and it's been sitting in my shed, kicking around the place, and I've been moving it from position to position, and it's getting in the way. So I decided I would turn this today. I did rough it down 2 years ago, and sort of cut it sort of round. You can see it's quite out of shape, and for that big limb in it, it makes it quite hard here. So we'll try and get some sort of pruniness on it.
Marcel Durrett has joined us, so is Rex.
And I'm using a 1/2-inch bowl gouge
And
here.
Benjamin has joined us as well.
Yes, Ben. Hi.
Just thinking to myself, if that comes off while I'm standing here, it's going to hit me right the gub.
Yeah, you might be better off with a push cut there.
Right, that's coming in all right. It's still quite out of balance here. You can see it where it's out of shape. So I'm going to try a push cut from this side. Stay in the safety zone. Doesn't like that. Change over to 50-inch grind on this, or bull gouge.
Rex Bean's in and said, sorry I'm late. What's the wood, please? It's Monkey Puzzle. This was a very fashionable tree 50 or 80 years ago. A lot of houses in the UK have them in the gardens.
Yeah.
Well, this lady had 6 or 7 trees in her garden. She cut them all down. And she's in a big barn drying out. But she sent 2 off the sawmill to get slabbed up. And she got them just over 2.5 inches thick slab. And they sent all the cuttings back. So there was quite a bit of timber. If you can imagine, this is the first cut off it. It's a big lump of wood. Like, these trees were massive. I couldn't believe the size of them when I seen them. We're just coming into another bit of a branch here at the end here. You can see the tool jumping on it every time it comes around.
Hear it quite well as well.
We'll stop and have a wee look at that.
And Ben's laughing at the concept of a fashionable tree. But it's true. Especially back in the day when seeds weren't sold on Amazon. These things used to come in as a boatload from. They would create a market for it and sell them all over the country to get rid of them.
Right, I've just managed to get it up to 600 RPMs, shaving a better cut in this.
Rexby says, glad you're turning Monkey Puzzle. We had those trees in our yard in Hickham. And their seed pods were like caramel syrup with seeds. Wood turning is a great way to get revenge. Roger Kent has joined us. Good afternoon, morning, evening, whatever it is.
Welcome along.
And Brian with a Y is supposed to be processing 30 blanks of Norfolk Island pine, but because of the heat in Spain, he's not getting on with it.
Yeah, it's very warm at the minute.
My sister's in Ibiza, and she has an apartment that she rents out with exclusive views of the pool. Well, luckily they haven't rented it out for the next couple of weeks, so they're using the pool themselves.
This is this big remainder of the branch it's hitting here, just here. You can see it's like hitting a piece of steel. They're so hard.
Yeah, even when you green turn it, that's a noticeable hardness to those branches.
Yeah. I need to get it tidied up a wee bit because it's taking an awful lot of chip out on the front of it. So we'll go in our kit.
Get your balance saw to get that counterweight off, and you can cut from the other side.
It even sounds hard. Right. It's it back into shape anyway, but it's not the greatest of cuts. So I'll try a couple of pull cuts and shear scraping. See if I can get some of these lines out. Because it will sand up quite good, but you do have to sand it quite a bit.
Rexby's asking if that knot's going to come out.
Pardon? Was that a question?
Yeah, Rexby said, is that not going to come out?
No, I don't think the knot will come out. It seems quite solid round there. Same on the other side. It's just got that crack in it, but that can be filled, and there's a wee inclusion there. This one, it seems pretty stable. Wanted to take a wee bit more off the edge of this to see if I can get it to tidy up a wee bit. Yeah, that's better. Right. You can see how easy it tears out. It tears out shocking. Something shocking. So get an hour push cut on this and we'll bring that round. Let's see if we can get an hour bit of speed on this. There's 700 RPMs.
You're welcome, Roy. I fixed Roy's internet last week.
That big dot is giving me a lot of problems.
Rex is encouraging people to give you a thumbs up. There's 16 people that can do that yet.
Very good.
exactly why I put mine in very first thing as I'm cleaning. Brian El Nero de Madera, he has a question. Is some of these NIP blanks, Norfolk Island pine blanks, mostly from the top section of the tree, have a very open end grain? Will it help to seal with some shellac or some other sanding sealer? I would say yes. It'd have to.
Yeah, PVA would be my choice.
Yeah, that would work very well. If it's a small piece, some CA would work very well.
Yeah, I think you've got some fairly big pieces there. So PVA is probably the cheapest method.
Absolutely.
Alternatively, the paraffin wax is popular. You can buy that in pellets and melt it over a pot of hot water. Don't put it directly on the flame. And do that.
You'd want that wax really hot, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you get well, it doesn't have to be that hot as long as it's liquid enough. It works quite well. I use an old roasting tin,
Yeah.
which I stand on top of a saucepan of water and stick it on top of a camping gas stove. Probably not recommended to do that indoors because there is that chance of it catching fire.
It'd be like roasting a turkey in the middle of your kitchen, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Or frying a turkey, not roasting.
that's it. But various methods. But yeah, seal it with something. So PVA is probably your best bet. It's you can buy it sort of 5 litre tubs for a couple of quid.
Right.
You could even dilute it if you wanted to, but I probably wouldn't.
Right, I'll get a tannin on that.
Yeah. Brian's saying it's mainly for finishing the bowls. They're drying out very quickly. Yes, I would. Your sanding sealer would definitely help with making that open grain kind of solidify a bit, get a little harder, or even your finish, whatever your finish is going to be. I've done that before as well.
Yeah.
It's a good question, Brian. It's something that especially newer turners have a difficult time with sometimes until they get that experience of doing that.
Just using the Whedon parting tool to create a tannin.
Probably particularly relevant in Spain at the moment because I believe it's 40 degrees or so in the air temperature. Last week or so in England, we've been sealing the ends to stop water getting in.
Brian Best is in.
Hi, Brian. Right, we'll get get to this and see what we can do with it. I'm not going to get any better with the cut.
And Jennifer's joined us. Good afternoon, Jennifer. And the
Hi,
other room is
Jennifer.
Doug.
Hello, Jennifer.
And Paul Kavanagh's come in as well. He's having his lunch.
Oh, hey, Paul.
Hi, Paul. So, as I say, this takes an awful lot of sanding.
That rather strange thing you can see on the overhead camera, that's because Paul's got a counterweight screw to the back of this piece to balance it out.
It's going to be interesting taking that counterweight off when he turns it around, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, hopefully it should be better balanced by then. So.
Yeah, yeah. Ah. Rob at Copper Owl has had to get a new motor for his Laguna lathe. That's sorry to hear that, Rob. Those are usually pretty good lathes and hold up well. Says it should be delivered today, so if it is, you can be back up and running tomorrow, right?
Well, this afternoon.
Maybe. Yeah. Those kind of jobs like that, for me, I think they're simple. I go to work on them and they take a whole day, if not two,
Yeah.
or longer.
Yeah. Some of these manufacturers, they come up with some intricate problems when they're fitting their motors in. It's all very well when it's in the factory being done as part of the process, but when you've got to take it out and replace it, it's a different problem.
Absolutely. Or they make a special tool for right there in the plant that
Yeah.
you don't know about. It's not available. That's
As you can see, that stands up quite well, despite the amount of tear out was on it. You know.
Yeah, the only problem I find with sanding monkey puzzles, it can form ridges around the branches because they are so hard compared to the rest of the timber.
Yeah, you think it's soft, but it's really not. It's quite hard, especially if you get those branches coming through it.
Yeah. Yeah, when I was young and naive, I was daft enough to take an entire tray of monkey puzzle. It starts to hurt your shoulders and elbows after a while because you've got that thump as it goes round.
mm-hmm.
Brent Beecroft has joined us.
Hey, Brent.
Do-do-do-do. Right, that was 120.
I'm just posting the link for Brian's live tonight. It's at 7:30, not 7. Brian would be here with him, but he's rebuilding his workshop today.
Let's hope he's finished.
I was just thinking, he picked the wrong day to be doing that.
Yeah, it's all right. It's for a second lathe. He won't be needing that tonight.
Oh, so he's not even fooling with his where his normal lathe is, huh?
Nah. And this is Brian. If it's not finished, it'll still be tidy.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll sweep every step of the way, I'm sure.
Yeah. I won't be doing a Tuesday lunchtime one this week because I've been blackmailed into covering for Terry next Sunday. The blackmail was a message from Ruth saying, can you cover for Terry next Sunday? If you can't, then I will leave him unsupervised and he can do his own life.
Uh-oh.
And yeah, an unsupervised Terry is just too much to cope with, so I'll do it.
Oh, mercy.
That's come up okay. I was worried about that because I know from the past when I've been trying to cut, I got a good cut on that and a good finish. There's been very badly torn grain on it, but it does sound well. You just have to spend a bit of time more on the sanding in them, I found. Because if you've got any limbs going through it, especially the bigger pieces of the main trunk of the tree, because you're turning it on end grain, you'll see when I turn this round, it's all end grain. It's quite hard to get a decent cut on them, but I managed to get it quite a nice bowl out of them. So
yeah, it was pretty good.
right, that was 400 there. So I got a wee taste of Shandon sealer on this and see what it's like. I might even fill those cracks on later on when I've finished the live and we taste a super glue and leave the foot on it. Let me work on it again. And it's got some nice colours in it as well. There's a wee bit of spalting in that as well. It's certainly drinking the sand sealer. I have still two big massive trunks of the tree in my shed outside, and they're easily 20 inches wide by at least 10 inches or 9 inches deep. And I got 4 of those pieces out of the tree. Me and another fella got the tree between us, and we got 4 each out of it. And I turned the lady in question who wanted to give us the tree a nice big bowl out of the big piece. It was on this lathe. Now you can imagine this piece flying around with these limbs sticking out. had to get the chainsaw and saw it on the lathe to get them nearly round, and they were too big to put on the bandsaw, and they came up very well, I must say, but there was an awful lot of work on them, and with those limbs in it, made it even harder, because in this particular tree, you can imagine that about 6 times round that,
Yeah,
so it was bouncing around the place.
you think. Norman Greenwell has joined us. Good to see you, Norman.
Hi, Norman.
And Gerald's got to go because he wants to watch Miss Rachel.
He's mentioning his granddaughter again.
Yeah. I'm guessing Miss Rachel was a children's program.
So there you can catch up later. Thanks for coming in, Jared.
Pete, the link you put in, that was for Sunday. Is that right?
No, that's for tonight for Brian.
Oh, tonight. I'm sorry. Yes.
Yeah, I'm covering for Terry on Sunday, but I haven't put a link up yet.
Okay. I'll put my link in for tomorrow evening. Should be right there. Going to turn number 4 of a series I've been working on.
So I'll give it a sweet taste of Yorkshire grit. How about?
Even your sanding sealer looks good on there, Paul.
Yeah, it's surprising. It's very surprising the finishing get up on it.
Yeah.
There's a couple of bits like still need attention, but you need to spend a wee bit of time more on the sanding. But I can fritter away at that. I'll get the bowl finished for the day, and I can work on it. A couple of wee bits here, just around here on the pieces, the edge, need a wee bit more sanding to them. But initially, it comes out okay.
Sure. Brian Best is asking if you have any idea of the moisture reading on that bowl.
No idea, Brian. No idea at all. As I say, it was cut down a number of years before we got our hands on it. It was in a big shed, and then it's been sitting in my shed for over 2 years. We got those in 20. So it's been sitting in my shed ever since. When I first turned it down to the round and cut a couple of tenons on it to get it where it is now, it wasn't too bad for dryness. I think we measured it at the time when it was up there, and I think it was around about 13-14%, which wasn't too bad. But this woman initially wanted the tables wanted a big table made out of the Monksy puzzle, and she wanted to make a river table, with the resin down the middle.
Mm-hmm.
So I sort of talked her out of it. I didn't do anything like that, but she managed to get somebody in the end to do it. She wanted to lay and feature on both ends, 2 of the pieces put together, and then with the resin up the middle. But this table was massive. It was over 9 feet long, by about 5 feet wide for a conservatory. And I says, you've got some heat coming through the glass in this conservatory. I don't know if the resin will stay to the wood, because it'll expand, the wood will move. Yeah. So I wasn't interested in that part. We were only interested in the tree.
I understand.
Yeah, I think river tables, you need to know what you're doing because
you need to be set up for it.
Things are moving in different directions.
Clean room.
But I have a huge workshop to actually do a decent sized table. I mean, I got a reasonable workshop, but I couldn't even do a coffee table in
No, I couldn't get whatever she was looking into my shed. You need plenty of room and dust free, because you're pouring resin. I think a resin would probably cost about $7 grand
Yeah,
for a loan. It's an awful lot of money to outlay, and what if it doesn't work?
that's it.
Yeah.
Or separates. What do you do then?
Yeah,
You're splitting the cost of that.
turning out a 10 or 12 grand table when it's going to come apart in a year, that's not good, is it?
Yeah.
Wouldn't be for me.
No, I wouldn't undertake it in any circumstances, even if it was well in the knowledge of doing it. I don't think it would be me. Let somebody else.
Yeah, I think you need to build up to that. You start off with a test piece, and you go to a coffee table and get proficient at that before you do anything big.
Don't
Like I said,
get
you
me
just
wrong.
need such a huge amount of space.
Yeah, they are
Yeah.
nice. I've seen a couple of fellas on YouTube making them, and
Yeah,
they're they look lovely. Like, don't get me wrong. It's just the amount of money, and
Yes.
it's going to have to be outlaid to make this thing.
yeah.
I had somebody asking me about doing some resin things the other day, and when I told them what the stuff costs and what I'd have to charge them, they changed their mind.
Yeah, too dear, far too dear.
Yes.
It's all right doing a wee small project, but when you start going into liters and liters of resin,
Well, that in
you know,
itself brings its own problems because it generates heat as it cures, and the more you have, the more heat you got.
Yep. Which is why, like a river table, it has to be poured in thin layers. It can't be done all at once.
Robert Bolton said, thought I tried doing a captive ring without ring tools. So a 1/4 inch spindle gouge and homemade tools. Interesting result. Before they were made illegal, and when I used to turn them, I used to use an Allen key that was
yep, that's what I used to
sharpened to
when
do the undercut,
first started.
and basically turn a deep bead, and then finish the underneath of it off with the Allen key, and then go from there. But
And the
haven't
Allen
turned
key
one in
does
a
a good
long time
job
because I
too.
don't like them.
And since they're illegal, you don't want to do them anyway. So.
No, that's it. They're illegal now, so I don't do them anymore.
What, the captive rings?
Yeah,
Why? Why are they illegal?
well, yeah, you're not allowed to captive things, are you?
I made my daughter a wedding goblet last year with captive rings on it, one for both of them, and an inscription on it. Turned out quite nice.
Did you intertwine the two rings?
No, I didn't go that far.
Now, come on, Paul. If you're going to break the law, you might as well break it completely, right?
Yeah, totally.
I'll come up quite nice.
Yeah, it's all right now.
Right, onto the front. This will be different. Now you're going to see what I have screwed onto this, and you might say, "Paul, that's dangerous." It's not. Okay, so Avanor, this is my eccentric truck for Axminster. So the bolt holds the heavy part on, which is that bit, and then you have the screw in part. So I thought that was a good combination to get me some sort of a balance on it.
Did the job, isn't it?
On the job, but at the same time, I still worry about it coming off. Don't like out of balance pieces.
Wesley Hanna has joined us.
Back on along, Wesley.
Oh, really?
Chris Dodd says you have to call them free range rings now.
Yeah.
That's when they go flying off.
Now, see, if I'm doing a pair of captive rings on a goblet stem for a wedding or something like that, I always cut 3.
Yes.
and then
Yeah.
break off the one that's the least like the other two. It's a little bit of insurance.
Right, look at this. Right, watch that off. Oh, that's right. I tightened that using the wee grip screw. A wee tip for you: if you're using anything this big and it's out of balance, use the grub screw that comes in your chuck. Because when you turn the lathe off, the weight of the momentum of that, it winds off.
Yes.
Don't tell me how I know. Don't ask me. I seen it coming off and I was grabbing it and trying to keep it on.
Yeah. Professor has joined us.
Good afternoon.
Welcome along, Professor. So we're just putting the X-Master chuck on. That's...
Yeah, I find even my cold jaws got the 16-inch cold jaws. Just the weight of them will unscrew themselves if you give them half a chance.
Hmm.
Yeah, better being safe and sorry, especially when a bigger piece, you don't know in a minute it's just going to come off. So I tend to do the grip screws. They're there, why not use them,
Yeah, if you got it there, not all chucks are made for it, but you got a chuck that has the hole for it, threaded and all that, use it if you can.
Yeah.
Right. Let us get this mounted.
I have had a piece or two try to unscrew off cause the chuck to unscrew even while I was turning. It was just from harmonics in the piece,
Yeah.
usually on a goblet blank, and I'm hollowing out the goblet.
Yeah, when you're a long way off the chuck.
Yes, yeah. Just that little bit of vibration at the right frequency, and it tries to back off.
Just bringing the tailstock up to give me a bit of support. Make sure it's seated into the back of that jaw, and then tighten it up. I find the X-Master chuck with these wee C jaws on them, when you tighten those into the wood, it creates its own wee circle of it cuts into it.
Yeah, it's got a tooth on the inside, isn't it? Sometimes it bites in so well you've got to tap the wood to get it off the tooth at the end.
Yep.
Yes, yes.
Right, we'll see what this is like now. Maybe I can get a wee bit more speed on it, and that's in safely in the jaws, and its tailstock's up for a wee bit of protection. Oh, I must have hit the button. There we are. We better wobble now because I've took the counter rate off. I'll try it at 600 and see what we'll get. Once we start removing timber, it may be better.
Yeah,
Right.
it should balance in a bit.
Yeah.
Just hitting this bit of branch here in the corner, the edge of it here, giving me some resistance. just have a wee look at that. See what way it's cutting. It's not cutting too bad. There's a wee bit of a chip out there. What I might do is put a wee chamfer on the end of that. If I try to bring it to a sharp edge like that, I think it'll chip off again. So
Yeah.
I'll get another cut and bring it past the end of that, and then form a wee chamfer on that to just make that sharp edge go away. I think I want to rim about that. That's well away from that. Okay. See if we can get a wee chamfer on that. That'll be it. I'll have to see how much. Aye, that's there's a wee bit more I could take out of that. Okay. Give it a wee bit of sand in here. Let's see if I can.
Yeah, you really don't want that sharp edge on there anyway, do you?
No.
Be ashamed to reach up there and cut your hand.
Yeah.
I've done that in the past 1 or 2
I was
times.
about to say, don't ask how I know that.
Yep. Right. We'll start and take some of the center out of this and bring this down in. We're on this big branch here. It's putting up a fight.
Is that before you go all the way to the outside? You've got a similar shape one on the outside there.
Yeah, it's the same shape. It's going more. If you look at here, it's going in that direction, but on this one, it's going the opposite direction. So it's not straight through the way the branch is. Turn over the bigger.
You get through it, it's going to be a pretty feature on that bulb.
See if I can get the speed up a wee bit without jumping all over the place. Ooh.
Let's jump in a bit.
Yeah. changed over to 1/2-inch full gauge.
When you get a chance, Paul, can you take the overhead camera off? Just jumping about a bit and get people see.
All right.
Yeah, that's better.
Getting seasick, were you?
Yeah. Well, I know none of the regulars in the chat will say anything, but you put a video like that on YouTube and people, safety police will jump up and down in your comments and annoy you.
You need quite a firm grip on the tool as you're going into this here, because that's fighting you all the way every time when you're pushing on it. The speed's only up to 700, so I don't think I'm getting any more than that. No, I'm wrong. I've got 800, sorry. Let's see if I can get 850 without it jumping too much. No, back it down again. 800, it's okay. We can live with that. Right, just forming the shape on the inside here. I'll just bring it down gradually because see what that's like.
Looks like you're getting a nice cut off there, Paul.
Yeah, it's not a bad cut. I think there's very little territe in that. Just where there's a couple of wee knots and stuff. It needs a wee bit of sand, but I think I'll keep it at that thickness. I think, what the is
Yeah,
that?
it doesn't want to be thin wall, this one, does it?
Let's see what the thickness is in that. Where's my ruler? Ruler, where are you?
Never where you thought it was.
Nope, I know I had it before it started. So that is an inch thick. So I'm happy enough with that. I can see daylight through there. that
that's good.
inclusion. Yep. So that's okay. The nut is the branch is okay, but it's cracked the whole way through. So I might have to fill that later on. But we'll keep going. That looks good so far. Well, that's hard. Well, that's hard now. Ooh. Working up a sweat here. That's not bad. That for cutting this. I might have to sharpen this again. I'll see. I'll take a wee bit more this way. It's hard there. It's just there. It is really hard. Stop and have a look at that.
Yeah.
Just coming through the center of the
Yeah,
piston
I was
of
going to
that.
say, right in the heart of that knot.
Yep. Right, we'll get a wee bit more of this.
You've got somebody at the door, Doug. I'll leave it in your hands for a minute.
Absolutely.
Okay, no problem.
You got it.
We'll be here. Oh dear. that. See if it's still intact. That's all right. Just have to push on through that.
Chris Bailey has joined us.
Pardon there. What's that, Doug?
Chris Bailey just joined us. Good to see you,
Hi.
Chris.
Hey, Chris. I'm just going to sharpen this gouge a wee bit.
I was about to say, you might want to sharpen again. It's and not wearing you out.
Yeah, and that's cutting teeth. It's hard going.
Roy is making gear shift knobs for classic bikes. That sounds like an interesting task.
Yep. Nice big fresh edge. So I need to bring that down here. Just shows you how hard that is. It's just bouncing straight off it. Wonder I should have changed the 50-degree bow gauge. Maybe better angle. Maybe.
Mike Evans has joined the group. Good to see you, Mike.
Welcome along, Mike. I don't know if I can tidy that up a wee bit. No. It's not working. Seems to be you need a bit of timber behind the gouge to take it on past that. That's it. Just a bit to here. You need to tidy up.
I'm back.
Okay.
You take it when you get a nice parcel arrive and it's not for you.
It's not too bad. It could be worse. Like instead of a wee ridge here, just there. It's in the middle of that limb. Oh. Whenever my big scraper would help with that. Just to smooth that out a bit. It's a wee bit jumpy on it.
Clint was asking a while ago if maybe a carbide hollowing tool might be the ticket.
Yeah.
Your big scraper may do it.
I'll try this big scraper and see if I can get it. It's just the lemon's so hard that needs to be over more. Just wants to pull that down as it contacts. I think that got it. Yeah, a bit of terry, but I think it'll stand out. Got rid of those humps that was there from the bouncing. Right, we'll move on. Continue taking that down, and then we'll remove the tailstock.
The boy's got to go. He's got to go out.
Okay.
Cheers, Roy. Hope to see you tonight at Brian's.
All the best, Roy. Ooh. Right, I'll move this tailstock out of that way. That's one way of doing it.
Yeah, that's the easy way.
Right, let's see if I can get this on right now. See what how it's behaving without the tailstock in place. Maybe able to get an hour bit of speed up now.
Yeah.
It's not too bad. 950. So
that's a very good speed.
just stop that again. Have a look.
Goodness.
See what the end of that. We're coming to the end of that now. So it's tore a wee bit out of it there. So I can fill that later.
Yeah.
And put a wee taste of milliput in it or something. Let's see, bring this round. Ooh. Just had an awful thought there.
What's that?
Am I getting very close to the bottom?
Yeah.
I haven't.
Must be good to get a measure.
I've been getting carried away here. I just realised that seems awful.
We've seen a couple of those recently.
Yeah. So it's 4.5 to the end of that. 4.5. I'll tell you what, I'm close. Really close.
Right, you don't want this one flying off, so just be a little bit careful.
I'll just take a wee bit at a time. Straight across. We don't want to make a funnel. Could almost turn it into a clock, like.
Yeah, as Doug says, there's been a few of them recently.
Oh. Still a wee bit there to take. Sound solid enough. Just a wee ridge there, you can see it. Maybe try the scraper. Just a wee bit there, and that ready for sanding.
Benjamin said you should name that the wee scraper. It's
A wee,
huge.
a wee scraper. That's the big boy for doing the big stuff. Right. Oh, but that put up a bit of a fight. That there.
That knot's kind of in an awkward place, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it adds interest.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. If it looks as good as on the inside as it does on the outside, it'll be great. No reason to think otherwise, really.
Yep.
Yeah, and like a nice big fruit bowl. Or if you really want it, you can have your cereal in it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
No, I think the
Jeff
milk would run out through
Bodine.
that hole.
Right. Excuse the noise while I get this sanded.
Todd said Zombie Woodturner has a mega scraper. I think he made that out of a leaf spring. Is what I'm thinking of.
He's got one
Yeah.
out of a leaf spring. He's also got one out of it's the metal out of the bucket from a front end loader.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Got one of each.
I do like
When you've
watching
got
his
when
lives.
you've got big pieces like that, it's handy to have something a bit heavy to let you get into it.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, Zed always starts with some gnarly, interesting pieces of wood.
Yeah, it's coming up okay. It's a really surprising how if you leave it a bit rough, that the sanding will just come to it, and you'll take it out, no problem.
Mm.
Because it's soft and hard. You hit the hard bits, and then you get a soft bit. Like that sanded up okay, and there's not much tear out in that. Nah, that's had 80 grit on it.
Yeah, sometimes the 80 grit gouge is the way to go. Especially if you've got something that's causing you to bounce, then you can end up
Yeah, when it's
taking.
bouncing like that, it's hard to get a very good
Yeah,
cut.
you end up chasing the final cut, and
It's impossible.
Well, or chase it right through the side or bottom.
yeah.
Ben's got to go. Bye, Ben.
Right, Ben, get that garden sorted.
Thanks, Ian, for coming in.
Brent Beecroft is asking if I was planning on going to the symposium in Pennsylvania in September. No. I've got a ton of stuff in September already planned, and there are no symposiums planned. So I'll do well to do the lives on Tuesday night.
Yeah, the year quite quickly disappears, doesn't it?
Yeah. September always seems to be a busy month for me anyway. I'm not sure why that is exactly, other than schools are ramping back up and programs are getting restarted from the summer.
Yeah.
So September just is busy.
Next big gathering in the UK is Harrogate in November.
Yeah.
It's not a symposium, it's actually just a tool show. But it's well attended. It's got a good number of suppliers there, and turners tend to gather at it.
Yeah.
The nights in the bar, etc., are more interesting than the day in the show, really.
Right. Sounds like there are going to be a good number of turners that are doing demos in the various stands as well.
Yeah. Yeah, there'll be plenty to see.
I did have a good time at the AAW symposium last month.
Yeah.
It was good when everybody else went out to the demo rooms. I got to have the stand area and the instant gallery kind of not really to myself, but it was much easier to get around and talk with people. And that was good. It was good.
Brent says Lancaster is only a 6.5-hour drive, so he's thinking about it.
Yeah.
Louisville is a 10-hour drive. See, we have similar drive times in this country, but we have a lot less miles. You can't move because there's so much traffic on it.
Sure. Louisville is only an hour and a half from me, and my parents still live there. So, in fact, I met up with my dad, and we got to look through the gallery and through the vendors area together a bit.
That's cool.
Yeah. Now Lancaster, yeah, that's pretty good trip for me. Well, four-ish hours. But yeah, I couldn't spend the 2 or 3 days in the motel room or two, and
Just easier to take it off and put the sun sealer on, because it's draining that quick.
and those colors come out as soon as you hit it with that liquid. That's great.
Yeah, you put the sanding sealer on. That's the first time you really get to see what the finish is going to be like.
Mm. Yeah, Brent, I was just thinking the same thing. I was only there for one day though, just the Saturday. So it would have been nice to have seen you. I did meet Michael McEwen face to face, and we got to talk a little bit, and that was fun. Would have been good to see Brent as well.
We changed camera, Paul.
Oh. Do, 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 do.
It's funny. This turning game, I've been doing it for quite a few years now. But up until COVID, I didn't really integrate with other turners around the country. I never went onto YouTube or anything like that. Now I know people through the internet. Well, around the globe really. But there's a lot of people that I feel I know because I've spoken to them so often.
Yeah,
Sure.
it's
I've
good.
never met them.
It's a good community to be in.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
We all share one sort of goal that we turn in our passion.
Yeah, I was kind of the same way as Pete. I was watching a few videos here and there before COVID, but then when COVID hit, we lost a lot of ability to do anything. So just like you guys, we were pretty well shut down. So it was watch YouTube or reruns, and I'd rather watch YouTube any day.
yeah.
Unless it's
Yeah.
Gunsmoke, and I'll watch Gunsmoke a lot. Yes, Todd said the live demos really helped time pass during COVID. It really did.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
Of course, then Wayne was on 5 times a week, and
Was he ever off?
it was
Like,
it was it was
it's
kind of
hard to
crazy.
do. Even 5 times a week, that's a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, when I was covering regular for Terry just once a week, it gets hard to think of something to turn.
sure.
I think that's good where the hashtag comes in. It doesn't say make this and everybody gets out there and walk and
Yeah,
take part. You know.
yeah,
Yes,
that sort of thing is good. I mean, Daniel Dubois set up a challenge in the first year of COVID, I think it was. It was a monthly challenge thing, and it just gave you something to turn.
absolutely,
As long as it's sort of
absolutely,
fairly open description, then you can make your own interpretation of it.
sure. The the one challenge was I forget how it was stated, but it implied to do something to do with flowers, the garden, what have you, and I'm trying to think who it was. Somebody somebody it took that idea and ran with the idea because it was so general, and it turned out looking like a bag, and they put flour across the front of it, like a
Ah, yeah, that
flour.
was the owner did that.
Yes. That was neat. So I
Yes.
spent the rest of that year, every topic, I tried to think of something outside of the box, like that. I was not very successful thinking outside the box, I'm afraid, except for tower. When we had the tower, I did a bell tower, but I made a bunch of little short bells and stacked them.
Yeah, that's a good one. Clint at Wood Dancer says in Texas they didn't miss a day of work or golf.
Yeah,
Yes, I
well,
didn't miss a day of work because I'm self-employed. I work in my workshop, and the orders kept coming.
right,
I just didn't. I was selling direct to people rather than supplying the shop.
exactly.
So it didn't make a lot of difference to me on that front. But in my previous incarnation, I used to be a computer tech, and I still do support for some small businesses and friends. One of my friends was an art teacher, and pre-COVID, she'd been teaching in her kitchen. She's got a big kitchen table. She gathered groups of people around there and taught them. Obviously, that stopped, so I had to learn how to do cameras so she could do it via Zoom.
Hmm.
So once I started playing with very cheap, like £10 cameras, went onto YouTube looking for ideas of how to make these cameras work together, and
Yes,
discovered wood turning on YouTube. Whoever knew it was
right.
there?
It was amazing. There for a while, it was hard to find wood turning on YouTube, and then all of a sudden, it just exploded,
Yeah,
which is, I think, is a good thing. So,
There you are,
wow,
guys.
looks good.
I need to fill that in, and I'll probably fill that in. We taste of milliput or something. I've still got the tannin on that side to sand it
yeah.
back.
So you
So,
can fill it and finish it.
because it's quite a, it, it's lifted a couple of wee bits out of that. So that crack, I'll probably rake those cracks out and see if I can fill that as well. But nice big bowl,
Yeah.
you know.
Dr. Bob just popped in. Hi, Doc.
Oh yeah,
Ah,
that's it. I had to rewind to see how that was done.
Yep.
nice big bowl, fruit bowl made of monkey puzzle. I've been sitting in my shed for over 2 years, drying, and it's about 16 inches wide by 4.5 deep. I would say about 4 inches deep now. I took a wee bit off it, but a nice big bowl all the same. And
Super.
it's one less thing lying about in the shed that I want to trip over. I bring these guys in, and oh, there you are. There's Pete and Doug. Uh, help me out this afternoon. Bram was
looks good,
busy
Paul.
doing his workshop. Very, very busy. So there you are,
Ah,
guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Now, I know I hate watching anybody hollow one anything out, but I hope that was some interest to you all. And it just shows you, if you persevere with it, you can cut through it, but it sanded up quite well. And it's, yeah, it's a nice bowl. Nor one for the collection.
I know it was tough, but that knot just makes that bowl. It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
that's
Yeah.
it. That's the interest to it.
And I think that's nearly a bluey black color spalting in that.
Sure.
It's hard to say what color that is. It's like a bluey gray right through it.
Like blue stain. Yeah.
Yeah. So there you are, guys.
Nice
That's
one,
all
Paul.
from me today, guys. And
You can check Brian's link in again for anybody that missed it. He's on at 7:30, not 7.
yeah, 7:30
Evening.
tonight. So, guys, I'll say cheerio, and my earworms will say cheerio.
Cheers, everyone. Thanks for coming in.
Cheers, everyone.
Bye,
See you later.
everybody. Bye.